Good morning. What's going on? It is Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide up inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys for making the show this morning. It is Tuesday. It is July 29th. I got a great show lined up for you. Thank you very much once again for being here. Today we're talking all about the defense. Yesterday we talked about the offense, and if you caught the nightcap last night, we took some calls and asked a couple questions going into fall camp. Alabama holds its first camp practice on Wednesday, the 30th, which, as you know, August 30th is their first game of the season, right? Everything is by design. And while we're really excited about what Alabama brings on the offense, and there's some question marks for sure. We went over that yesterday. There's question marks for sure. One of the things to get excited about is certainly this defense in year two, right? Tracks were laid. And as I get the show going, thumbs up inside the comment box if Kane Womack won you over at the end of the season. For me, he did. You know, I think the defense went through kind of a maturation process. I mean, remember this. Kane Womack came in, and he restructured the entire defense, completely different scheme, which takes a lot of stones to do because, man, you're taking over for Coach Saban, who was really the defensive coordinator. And I think by the end of the year, you started to see where this defense was headed, particularly against Michigan, right? Like, you could just see these guys were fighting and clawing and playing the way that we wanted the defense to play. Now, they got punched in the face a couple times, and that's going to happen in year one when you're, building something. But I think as we look to this particular roster over these next, 50 minutes, I think at the end of this video, you're going to have even more optimism for what's coming for Alabama's defense. All right. So thanks for being here. Again, we'll do defense, and then at the end, we'll do special teams. And as a special treat, I'm going to do some special teams lookalikes, and then we'll spin the pinwheel. All right. So that's what we're doing on the show today. I appreciate you guys for kicking it. Let's see who's up in the house today. And be sure and rep your city. Don't be afraid to let me know where you're watching from. Young C Gaming, what's up, man? Good to see you. Alyssa, always perfect attendance. Same thing with Max. Tooney, these are my the kids in the front of the class, right? They're not like brown nosers. They're just like, these are the kids who are like into it. Sean, what's up, man? Good to see you. John Shannon, good morning. Anita, what's up? Matthew, good morning. Hope you're off to a good start. Dan Caraway. Anita, what's up? Southern Red, good morning to you. Ruben Poole, good to have you back, bro. Bruce Williams and Robert Bradley Jr. Kalen Childress, Ethan, he's our spiritual leader. We got West Coastin'. We got Antoine checking in. You know Antoine's feeling good. You know it's going to be a good show when Antoine's here. Micah, what's up, man? West Coastin'? Yes. Man, we didn't have any calls from the West Coast yesterday. But we went all over the place. We went from New Jersey. We went to St. Pete's. We went to Pigeon Forge, as we usually do. We went to Montgomery. Nicole Covington, what's up? Yeah, we got the family up in here today. Who's making the mashed potatoes? Who's making the... You know what we need to do is next time we meet, we need to do like a cookout, right? And everybody bring your own dish. We'll have a sign-up sheet. Who's bringing the mac and cheese? And who's doing the collard greens? Because I want to have like proper collard greens. I've been here for a long time and I've never really had proper collard greens, but I want to try them out because I know they're a staple down here. It's on my Southeastern bucket list. Chris will make his mashed potatoes, the golden mashed potatoes, right? All right. Let's start talking about this defense. A couple points that I want to kind of kid on as we look to the defense, and this is something to keep in mind. I'll go roster by roster. It's going to be great. I spent a lot of time this morning editing. Keep in mind, if you see, some errors, I call them incompletions. I'm going to try to be perfect today, as I usually do on the show. All right. So leadership returns. You got a lot of leadership on this team, and I think a lot of it starts with Deontay Lawson, who I'll talk about when I talk about the inside linebackers. A very high football IQ. You look to the guys coming back, you have a lot of experience. A lot of these guys played last year, so that's going to kind of spill over into the IQ, right? And I think they need to maintain that physical identity. Who are going to be the players on this team that maintain that physical identity, right? Is it going to be Tim Keenan? Is it going to be Bray Hubbard? Somebody that just kind of sets the tempo when, you know, the pads start popping. Continuity matters 100%. You have a lot of guys that are familiar with not only the system, but with playing together as a team. And then they have to have a playoff level hunger. Look, last year wasn't it. You don't make the playoffs, that's not it. That's not the standard, 100%, right? So you got to have that playoff level hunger going in, specifically the first game. And look, Tommy Castellanos has had his chance to say what he said. That's got to be everywhere, I would imagine, in the locker room, and all disrespect will be dealt with accordingly. As we do when we talk about the defense. And before we get to that, we got to thank our sponsor from Arkansas, West Memphis, Arkansas, Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 hit. That is Sonic, America's favorite drive-in. Roll through when you're in Arkansas. Tell them you're an Alabama football fan. After you've ordered your food, you don't want to get a sneezer. Does anybody know what a sneezer is? And then today, we will be doing the raffle for this hoodie. All right? So this is a customizable hoodie. It's $10 to get in. We got a good list of people that are already in, and then tomorrow I think I'll introduce a big ticket item. Big ticket items are usually like tickets or like a jersey, something like that. We started with the defense and we look at the bandit position. So the bandit position is a position on the defensive line that you're going to have as somebody who is very athletic, under 300 pounds, who can get after the quarterback, or we hope they can, right? Put some pressure on the quarterback. You know, just because you don't get a quarterback sack, like if you can get a quarterback pressure, I like it, okay? But I do want quarterback sacks, but like we want heat on the quarterback. I didn't think that LT Overton would be coming back this season. I really didn't. I felt he was kind of like a comeback NFL type tweener. So with him coming back, you get not only a returning starter, you get one of the top players in the SEC coming back on the defensive front, right? You really do. He was fantastic, and I think when I look at it, he was a lot better than I anticipated him to be. Like him and Parker Brailsford coming in as transfers, these guys were absolutely it, 100%. So LT Overton, I mean, he's that guy. And you know what? We don't really talk about LT Overton that much, but can I get a thumbs up for LT Overton inside the comment box? I think sometimes when you talk about the bandit position, you're like, when's Keon Keeley going to play? Well, like, he'll play. He'll get his. But, man, we got to respect the man, you know, who is the man right now, and that's LT Overton. You know, if LT Overton didn't return, you're going to have maybe some question marks at this position because of the inexperience, right? I see Big Homie. What's up, man? I see your comment inside the comment box. I'll get to you guys in a minute. And you know what? Like, I'll put it on the screen. So Big Homie says this. He's like, look, I'm sorry, I'm just not sold on the defensive line. They got cooked against Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, and we got to see when camp starts. And look, if you want to kind of zoom out and look at the defensive line, that would be the challenge to them, is like, can you kind of maintain that standard of the Alabama defensive front? But I think LT Overton can. I really do. And I do have questions about Keon Keeley. Like, is this going to be a year when he gets opportunities? Same thing with Jordan Renard, who is, I think those guys, to be honest, I think those guys are equally as talented. Now, they're behind LT Overton, clearly, but I think they're equally as talented. And I think, you know, Patua Henry over here, who's a redshirt junior who just got added, I think he's very dangerous as well. I love this highlight tape. I just haven't seen. I need to see. I think he was banged up in spring. Quincy saying that he needs to see the defensive line as well. But with LT Overton, we're feeling good about him. And I don't know if this will be the year of Keon Keeley, but you got to think that at some point he gets his name called, and we're going to have to see how ready he is to play and how he can get after the quarterback. Man, when this guy came in, I was so excited about him as an outside linebacker. And then they put on, I think, like 30 pounds onto him. But I'm not going to sleep on Jordan Renard either, man. Like, that guy, I've seen him at practice before, and he is fantastic. So, bandit position, feeling good about it. I think that's a very strong unit for the Crimson Tide. Now, look, this is very interesting what I'm about to say. I didn't know this till I was doing this morning. I mean, I knew it, but like actually seen it. Do you know how many defensive tackles, defensive linemen, other than that are not listed as bandits that Alabama has? Alabama has 8. 8. I only have 5 on the screen right here. I'm going to show 3 additional players on the second slide. But I do like Tim Keenan, and I do like James Smith. I mean, people don't know that James Smith played a ton. He played 300 snaps last year. And it kind of sounds to me that Jeremiah Beaman has made a breakthrough. And look, he's 314 pounds right now. Kelby Collins, don't know much about him. He came in from Florida, and I guess he moved from the bandit position to now kind of a defensive tackle. And then you have Edric Hill at 6'3", 285 on the far right. I mean, let me ask you, like Big Homie and Q, do your questions about the defensive line, is it because of these guys right here, because they're not proven, or you don't think they're good enough? Is it with the defensive tackles, or is it with kind of the bandit position? Damien, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Lisa, good morning. Appreciate it. Because, I mean, I don't... Let's just add Southern Red. If the chat freezes up, just hit the refresh button. Or you could do Control-Alt-Delete. You guys remember Control-Alt-Delete? Does that still work? But there's a lot of guys here. I mean, after Tim Keenan, after James Smith, you got Jeremiah Beaman, Kelby Collins, and then Edric Hill. And then let me show you 3 additional guys that are defensive tackles as well. You have Isaiah Fega, Steve Mboa, right, and London Simmons. So I don't know. And you know what? I'm curious about this young man. I kind of think that this guy might have something to say in fall camp. I don't know. Like, I kind of look at him as a dark horse type player. Anybody else with me on that? Guy, what's up, man? It's all good. I mean, this dude's now 302 pounds. This is a freshman right here that you got in. So 8, I guess, defensive linemen or defensive tackles, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I'd probably like to see Hill at 300 pounds, but I mean, you look at the bandit position, you pair it with the defensive tackles, defensive linemen. I don't know. We didn't see much of him. I think he was banged up in spring. So I don't know. I know some of you said that you have questions about the defensive line. We'll have to see. I think it's fair to question them because of some of the things that happened last year. But I think the added experience of, Keenan coming back, I like Team Keenan because he could plug the hole. I think James Smith is super athletic for his size. And then Steve Mboa, I think on the other graphic, I think he can kind of be one of the breakthrough guys. Just my opinion. We're about to find out tomorrow. Yeah, Antoine, you're right, bro. Steve Mboa put on a ton of weight because now he's 302, as I showed you on the next slide. Me too. So, Joe, you're with me, dog, right? Okay, good to see you guys kind of back in with Steve right here. And Q brings up, where is Alabama ranked in sacks? I don't know. They didn't have a lot of sacks last year at all. But you need to get to the quarterback for sure. Hey, Jeremy Davis, what's up, man? Good to see you. You're with us with Steve, right? Bolo. Yeah, I think he's going to be a stud, man. I really do. All right, so that's your defensive line. So let me ask you this. If you combine the bandit position and the defensive line, defensive tackles, how would you assess them going into fall camp on a scale of 1 to 10? You like 10, absolutely elite. These guys are going to eat. Are you like 8? You're like, okay, they're good. Or you're like kind of 6 to 7. You're like, we need to see quarterback sacks. We need to see them stop the run. They didn't do their job last year at times. We need to see more. I don't know where you guys at. I'd probably say maybe like a 7. And I'm more bullish. I'm not going to go 8. I'm not going to go 10. I'm going to say like 7. Larry Large filling it with the 8-5. Jarvis, you're with me with 7. Antoine, 7. Okay, yeah. I figured that kind of be the pulse line. Wham, bam, bam. I love this. I love this username. Wham, bam, bam, wham. 7.5 for Caraway. Case, Jimmy Williams. 8, but it can't get to 10. Yeah, gotta show me something, right? Gotta show me something for sure. Dude Lamar, what's up, bro? Bob Goalie Jr.'s up in here? What's up, dog? I like that avatar, dude. Okay, so that's the D-line. And as you know, it stems with the D-line. We got to have a really big year from these guys collectively. I was just kind of shocked. I was like, damn, there's 8 D tackles, D linemen. That's a lot. All right. Next up, outside linebacker position. You want to call it the wolf position, right? Guys who are, can put their hand in the dirt, coming off the edge, quarterback pressure position. A lot of talented athletes here. With Ja Latham coming back, I didn't expect him to come back. I didn't know, I don't know if he was talented enough to go into the NFL, but he's a graduate. I mean, this guy's been here for a long time. So he does add kind of that experience element, but I don't know if he's going to play in front of Yanzi Pierre. So I think if I had to think about it, I'd probably go Q, right? Quay Rusaw, and then Yanzi Pierre in terms of guys who are, my 1-2 at that position. But man, Ja Latham's a big dude, right? Because I think they might have moved him over from Bandit. So he's 6'3", 262. I got that from Roll Tide this morning. Yanzi's at 250 pounds. Who thinks this year that we're going to get an opportunity to really see kind of the year with Yanzi Pierre? Man, I've been waiting on him just like I've been waiting on Keon Keeley, and sometimes it just takes a little bit long for these guys to get on the field. But I really like Yanzi Pierre, man. I'm telling you, I can see athleticism, and every single time I see this dude at practice, I don't think it's a thing that's not translating on the field. I think he's just having to wait. And this dude is a bad man right here. I cannot believe that this guy is only a redshirt sophomore. It's crazy. This is a hell of a talented group right here. Noah Carter, this will be his second year here. 6'4", 243. And then this guy just got here too. That recruiting class in 2025, outstanding. Justin Hill, Noah Carter. Look at the future of this position. Because these guys, I would imagine, move on, right? So next year, just looking at this, you got Yanzi, Noah Carter, Justin Hill. I mean, geez. But man, I didn't think that this guy would be as good as he was. Hey, Quincy with the super. Thanks, dog. I appreciate you, man. This guy, yeah, the wolf pack. This guy's a monster, such a monster. So, all right, I'm gonna ask you with just this position group. I'm going to do the inside linebacker separate because there's 8 inside linebackers. So when you look at this particular position collectively, how would you rank them going into fall camp on a scale of 1 to 10? 10, elite, top in the nation. 9, this is a room full of dogs. 8, you're okay, yeah, just like any group, they're high level, but we need to see on-field production. Or 6, you're they're hype. Stanley, that's a really good question. Stanley's yo, is Quay going to come back? I don't know. It obviously depends on the type of year that he has. But now that he's a redshirt sophomore, he'd be eligible to go to the draft. I would imagine if you have a strong season this year, he's gone. Hey, Bearsies is like the damn stream for sure. Larry Large is it looks like 20 sacks to me. Okay, so very high on this group. Me too. I'd probably be a 8.5 or something like that. 9 maybe. It's a good group. Very talented. I told you already, if I wasn't coaching the wide receivers, I'd want to coach this particular position. It'd be so easy. I'd love to just kick back and let these dudes just do their thing. There's coaching and get these guys fired up, but after that I'd be yo, just go, Go do work on the quarterback. Damon says this. He's like, Kyle, we have some hidden gems. Some of these freshmen going to be ready. Yeah, the freshmen are super talented. We saw a lot of production from the freshmen just the springtime. Quincy points out 20 sacks. 25 sacks, while Jalen got sacked over 40 times. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't get a lot of quarterback sacks from the defensive side last year. But they did get pressure, and the thing was, the pressure added to a lot of turnovers. Alabama, there for a while, was a turnover machine, right? All right, inside backers. There's 8 of these guys. So I have 5 on this screen and then 3 on the next, okay? So one thing from the inside linebackers that I really want to point out is these 3 guys right here, these 3 gentlemen, Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson, and Nikhai Hill-Green. All these guys are, you know, obviously, Nikhai Hill-Green, he's a graduate, came over from Colorado. Justin Jefferson was able to come back for an extra year because of the Diego Pavia rule. And then Deontay Lawson, who would have been sidelined or who would have been in the NFL if it wasn't for his ACL, he's back as well. The experience, this is the most experience, I'm serious, this is the most experience out of all inside linebackers in college football. That's so important. And this particular man, you know, I wish I had enough words to like really elevate this guy, but I think his on the field play will do it. How are you guys feeling about Deontay Lawson? Because I believe in Deontay Lawson. I think there's some people that are like, well, yeah, he has the talent, but we really have to see it. I'm a firm believer that he already has it. He was just shortchanged by an injury. And Justin Jefferson, man, this dude was another guy that was way better than I thought he'd be. And it looked like Nikhai Hill-Green, from what we saw in spring, was pretty good. Mindy chimes in inside the comment box, and she's like, people don't give Justin Jefferson enough credit. Dude was a monster on the field. He's super athletic, too. Super athletic inside linebacker. Good point out, Mindy. See, Dan Carraway is with me right here. He's like, love him. 100%. So kind of beyond the experience, because we didn't get to see a lot of these guys in springtime. I think Justin Jefferson and Deontay Lawson, those guys were held out. We saw a little bit of Nikhai Hill-Green. But we did see Caden Jones, Quentin Reese, right? We saw a little bit from those guys. And then also on this next page, you have 3 inside linebackers that are young guns, that are freshmen, right? So you have Daryl Johnson, Luke Metz, Abdul Sanders. Really good recruiting class from the linebackers perspective, right? And I think one of the top performers in the springtime was this young man, Abdul Sanders. Man, for a freshman, he's 6'2", 31 pounds. Luke Metz is just as big. He's an inch taller. And this guy, Daryl Duke Johnson, I mean, look at these freshmen. Man, what a crew coming up, right? But clearly it starts with the 3 vets. You know, these guys are grown, man. Shoot. So same thing with, we did the wolf position. Now I'm asking with the inside linebackers. How would you rate the inside linebackers on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 is like phenomenal. 9 is like, you know, okay, they're good. We got to see it. They got to be healthy. Is Deontay Lawson healthy? Is Nikhai Hill-Green ready for SEC play? Are the young guns behind them ready to step up if their numbers are called? 7, you're like, yeah, these guys, it looks like they got it on paper. I'd probably go with like an 8, 8.5. See, Max, me and you, dude, right there. Ethan's going with the 10. Kalen's with the 9. Yeah, very high marks for the inside backers. I'm glad to see it too. They deserve it. Kind of a position that doesn't really get talked about is kind of that experience. I don't know if other people are saying that too, but I like to point it out because it's true. It's like, damn, all those guys. It's a lot of snaps. It's a lot of experience. Okay, really good marks on inside linebackers. Yeah, happy to see it. Mindy chiming in with a 9. Yeah, I'm with you, Damon. Yeah, Deontay Lawson about to get major payday when he leaves Alabama football for sure. All right, we go to the Husky position. I guess right now I'm only listing 2 guys here for the time being, Deshaun Jones and Dre Kirkpatrick. But I would imagine that there's probably a couple other guys that are vying for this Husky position. I really don't know who they're going to be until we start practicing camp. So if I added guys here, I'd just be like kind of making stuff up. So I think for right now, these 2 guys at Husky. But let me ask you inside the comment box, and I'll show the corners and I'll show the safeties next. But who else could you see making a run for that Husky spot? You know, if I was just making stuff up, it would seem to me like Cam Calhoun. I know you guys have talked about maybe a Dejon Lee. I don't know. I want to see Husky, and I know they moved Red Morgan specifically to corner, right? I'm with you, Antoine. I think Cam Calhoun seems to be a guy, but maybe it'll be Deshaun Jones. And if you're like, who's Deshaun Jones? Well, he's a second-year player. He's another senior on this team. He transferred in last year from Wake Forest. And then Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. I need to put Jr. Entering the second year already. Every time I think about Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., I think about his, remember when he committed? Remember, who did he fake commit to and his dad got all mad? And then he had the Bama jersey on. Who was it that he fake committed to? It was hilarious. Larry Large is saying maybe Mincy at the Husky position. I don't know. This is a position I need to see like on practice, like who you got at the Husky position, period. All right, but look at all these corners. All right. You have a lot of corners to work with. And some of these guys, who know, maybe some of the guys will play Husky. I don't know, like I said. But the corners that are returning, the 2 guys on the left, Damani Jackson and Xavier Brown, right? Having those 2 guys back, man, we're in such a better place in the secondary from where we were last year, right? Because all we really knew was we were like, okay, well, we know Malachi comes back. And Devontae Smith, we think he's pretty good. But other than that, we didn't know anything about the Alabama secondary. This year, we got 2 returning starters at corner. We have 2 returner starters at safety. But look at this room. This room is loaded up. Damani, I don't think people talk about Damani enough. And you know, I've been really high on Damani Jackson. Xavier Brown, this dude, he was baptized by fire. Every single game the guy came out. Cam Calhoun, the addition from Utah. Dejon Lee was a monster in the springtime. Red Morgan, he got moved to the corners. And then Chuck McDonald just got here. And he was a summer ad. I mean, you got depth. You got length, you got speed. I mean, how would you assess the corners? Just the corners, just these guys on this page. On a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, is it like a 9.5? Is it 10? Is it 8 I think would be low. I think 8 would kind of be disrespectful to this crew. I'd probably say like, I guess like 9.5 or something like that. And this is one of the things I'm thinking about. When I think about the corners, is I'm like, oh, Wade's World, I 100% agree with you inside the comment box, by the way. Dude, they loaded him up, so talented. He's so talented, he's so fast. This is one of the things that I'm thinking about, okay? Look, in competition is supposed to happen, But does anyone out there, or is this too far? Does anyone think, and there's nothing wrong with saying this because there's competition everywhere. Does anyone think that Dejon Lee ends up as a starter at corner and like beat Xavier Brown out? I mean, at the end of the day, you have to put the best player out on the field. That's, I mean, I guess we'll just have to see if Dejon Lee can carry over what he did in the spring to the actual season. I don't know. I'm kind of watching that. Am I the only one, or you guys maybe thinking that as well? Okay, yeah, you guys see maybe some competition as well, right? I mean, I just like, how are you going to keep off mustard? You can't make a sandwich without mustard, right? Sammy's like, not over Brown. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Hagan Bradley, what's up? Good morning. Appreciate you. All right, so very high marks for our corners, right? Okay. Let's talk about the safeties, right? So as you look at the safeties here at Alabama, uh-oh, I threw an incompletion, fam. First incompletion of the show. You guys see it? That's Kyle Henderson's first incompletion of the show. We will take a pause to fix it because it will drive him crazy. We were looking for safeties. All right, that was an incompletion. My bad. Damn it. I thought I was trying every game, you know, I'm trying to be perfect. You gotta be perfect, man. If you want to play at the highest level, you gotta be perfect. Period. All right, we'll go back to safeties. All right, this group. I mean, look, you have Keon Sabb. He's coming back, right? He suffered the leg injury against, I think, around Tennessee or whatever. He's coming back. He has a lot of experience. We like Keon Sabb. We welcome his athleticism. We welcome his experience, right? You got Bray Hubbard, probably one of the biggest fan favorites right now. And I think people like him because, you know, he brings the wood. I think people like Bray Hubbard because he's a hard hitter. He's really good in space. He's a monster, as you say, big homie. And I don't know, it just seemed like when he came on the field, the defense played better, right? So these two guys coming back, fantastic addition. And I think that, like, with Zay Mincy too, Zay Mincy's a damn good football player. Now, he might be a couple games away, but I think, like, let's say Keon Sabb wasn't here, you'd be fine with Bray Hubbard and Zay Mincy. And I think same thing. Like, if Bray Hubbard wasn't here, you'd be fine with Keon Sabb and Zay Mincy. I think Zay Mincy is a fantastic football player. That just kind of shows you the depth. And that's one of the things that I like about the Alabama defense is I feel really confident. And I know you guys have your reservations about the defensive line, but I feel very confident about Alabama's too deep on defense, right? I really do. Like, on offense, like the offensive line and like even tight ends, I'm like, okay, like, are the second tier guys, you know, are they elite? I think I can firmly say this with Alabama's second tier. Let me just point it out. I mean, look, you have 8 defensive tackles to choose from. The Bandit position, you could probably swap in one of the younger guys that is ready to play. The Wolf position, you can, of course. Inside linebackers, you can go too deep. The corners, you can go too deep. Safeties, you see what I'm saying? The too deep on defense is outstanding. Cam Howard, I don't know too much about him. I haven't really heard too much about him. And then Ivan Taylor, this will be, you know, he just got here. And I heard good things about Ivan Taylor, to be honest. And probably another player as a freshman that gets overshadowed by a lot of these, you know, top-tier freshmen. But Ivan Taylor, he sounds really good. Sounds like he had a good spring. So, how would you assess the safeties? Same thing. How would you rank them, the safeties, on a scale of 1 to 10? Like 10, outstanding, 9, yeah, these guys are loaded. 8.5. I think they're ready to do their thing. You know, we got to see how, you know, Keon Sapp plays post-injury. I'll probably go like 8.5. I'll probably go 8.5. I'm really high on Alabama secondary, right? Anita saying 8. Wade World's almost gave him a 10. Ethan's just straight up saying elite. Fred in with the super chat, man. I want Bray Hubbard on the field 24/7. And Bray Hubbard's a fan favorite, man. People have a lot of respect for his game for sure. 100%. Thanks for the super, by the way, man. I appreciate you. Man, I can't believe, you know, I threw that incompletion, but you got to bounce back, right? You got to have next slide mentality, right? Just like next play mentality, you got to have next slide mentality. All right. Okay. So one of the bigger questions, and we had some really good calls last night. One of the calls was regarding the special teams. And look, it's valid to talk about the special teams, right? Because it's a critical part of the game. We don't have an elite special teams. I don't know how far Alabama's going at all, right? I mean, you just don't. You're not going to win games on the road if you don't have an outstanding special teams, whether that's kick returner, punt returner, kickers, whatever. So kind of the bullet points are, as I've pointed out many different times, you lose your kicker, your punter, and your long snapper from last season, right? James Burnup, he's with the Saints. Graham Nicholson. Where did Graham Nicholson go? Did someone pick him up? And then you lose Neelan Hibbett, who's your long snapper. Early season special teams, I think, will be very telling. Now, these guys will grow up, but, you know, we'll see how they fare from the jump. So you're probably like, well, who the hell are they? That's one of the biggest things, right? I know. I'm still practicing myself. So I spent some time this morning. I'll put this full screen so you can see it. So here you go. You got your kickers on the left. Oh, I needed to put kicker and punter. Okay, well, I'll explain it. I'm going to say that's an incompletion by Kyle as well. 2 incompletions. So Connor Talty, he's a kicker on the left. He's a redshirt sophomore. Okay. You also have Peter Notaro, right? 5'11", 188. He came in. He's a freshman. He's a kicker. Okay. 2 guys on the left are a kicker. And middle of your screen, Alex Osborov, he's a punter, right? 6'3", 200 pounds. And then, you know, I kept on thinking that he would be the punter, but now I think it'll be Blake Dowd, this guy. You know, he played 4 years. I was reading his bio this morning. This guy has played 4 years at the Colorado School of Mines. So he has a lot of experience, way more than anybody else in this room outside of David Byrd, who transferred from Cal. So these 2 guys on the right probably have the most experience in the room. So I thought it would be, I kept on saying Alex Osborov. Now I think it's going to be Blake Dowd as the punter. I have maybe Connor Talty for the kicker, and then you have David Byrd. So I don't know. That's your special teams. Let me ask you, how are you guys feeling about the special teams on a scale of 1 to 10? And look, I didn't put, you know, kick returner, punt returner. I think he'll be outstanding there, right? You put what? Jalen Mbakwe back as kick returner? Fine. You put Cole Adams back there? Fine. You put whoever back at punt returner? Fine. But particularly for the kickers, the punters, and the long snappers, how would you assess it? Scale of 1 to 10. Be honest with me. And I think it's hard because we just don't know anything. I mean, you know, I told you a little bit about Blake Dowd. Connor Talty, I think, played a tiny bit last year. Anita saying -3, 6. I guess I'll say like, I think I'm going to say 6 because David Byrd and Blake Dowd have experience. Like, Byrd was the long snapper at Cal. Dowd, you know, he's played at Colorado School of Mines. But other than that, I don't know. Max Tooney's like, but do we have an automatic field goal kicker? I don't know. Yeah. And I need to add kicker, punter. So that I threw another incompletion right there. That should be tightened up. That was my bad. So, you know, I think clearly the low marks are just because we're like, no idea. And of course, like during the season, during springtime, it's not like we're going to hear, or during the fall camp, where it's not like we're going to be like, oh yeah, these guys did terrible. Everything about special teams is going to be positive. Oh yeah, he was great. He did a great job. He was great. He kicked a great field goal. Because these guys, every special teams player, I don't know these guys individually, but special teams guys, things live up top, right? It's just like if you get in a funk like putting, man, you're done. You can't hit your irons, you're done. Same things with the kicker. So you always have to be gassing these guys up. Hey, good job. You did a really great job. Otherwise, you know, kickers, that's how it is. So then I was looking at these guys and I was like, all right, let's do some lookalikes, okay? So I did some lookalikes with these guys. We'll start on the left. It looks like Connor I couldn't find out who Peter Notaro looks like. I have no idea. Does anybody know who he looks like? I did Connor Talty. It kind of looks like he's got like a, you know, when he grows up, he'll look a little bit more like Ben Stiller, right? I think that Alex Oshbroff, damn, he looks like Rory McIlroy. Shit, you put a hat on him, the same Nike hat, he could play Rory McIlroy. Blake Dowd, Adam Lambert, you know, the singer from American Idol. And then the right, oh my God, what got me thinking about this was as soon as I put David Bird up on the screen, I was like, damn, that dude looks just like Pablo Escobar, right? Can you see? Look, he looks just like him. Man, and so maybe that could elevate our special teams rankings since our long snapper looks like Pablo Escobar, right? So who does Peter Notaro look like? I couldn't figure it out. I was stumped by him. I'll bring it full screen. Maybe you guys will be able to tell me. Wade's World, are you saying that David Bird looks like the dude from Superbad? Which is, by the way, an amazing movie. Dowd almost looks like AJ McCarron. Yeah, kind of. I think that Adam Lambert looks like he has like, you know, a bunch of makeup on and stuff, so who knows? Young Kevin Bacon. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kevin Bacon. Okay, Peter Notaro, a young Kevin. Man, doesn't he look like Pablo Escobar, our long snapper? We got to be back with the long snapper that looks like Pablo. That's hilarious. So I think the other ones are pretty good. I mean, Connor Talty definitely looks like Ben Stiller to me. Kevin Bacon. Okay, yeah, I'll write that down and we'll get it added. We'll do our lookalikes. So Peter looks like Kevin. Okay, nice one. That was good. All right, don't go anywhere. We're doing a pinwheel up next. Stay with me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Did you know that Bama football on YouTube streams live every day at 10 a.m.? If you like the stream and you roll tide, hit the thumbs up button.
I know. I'm trying to stop, but it's just too funny.
Did you know Alabama has a long snapper that looks like Pablo Escobar? If you agree, hit the thumbs up on this video.
Family, what's up? We got some Pinwheel Tuesday action. This is finally fall camp week. Tomorrow we'll do a big ticket item. Today we're raffling off the hoodie that you can customize. Please, 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 please email me at nmpreps@gmail.com if you do win today, so I can get your address and your shipping info. I appreciate you guys rocking with me always. Looks like we'll do a big ticket item tomorrow. I don't know what that is. Good luck to everybody inside the raffle today. With that said, let's spin it. All right, you guys ready? Dun, 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 dun. All right, 3, 2. Oh my God, I still get nervous on this. 3, 2. Who's it gonna be? Is it Joe Crooms? Joe Crooms, I think you're a first-time winner, dog. We've had 2 first-time winners the last 2 raffles. We had Southern Red and Crooms, right? Man, good win, dog. Appreciate you, bro. Nice win. Hit me up, Joe Crooms. nmpreps@gmail.com. I'll get right back to you. And if you guys have like anything else, you guys can always email me and I'll shoot you an email right back. You guys have like a tip, anything. You guys want to be a sponsor, hit me up. All right? I appreciate you guys for rocking with me each and every day right here at 10 a.m. I'll probably do some nightcaps this week, so keep your head on the swivel. I also have to stream my next game. I'm playing Miami. Bama hater, I'm playing Miami. That's my first playoff game. So that's taking place tonight. All right. I might do it at like 6 or 7. Those games are so intense. It's hard for me to go to bed after I play, you know, especially when I beat like Georgia in overtime. That was crazy. All right, fam. I love you. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow we got fall camp coverage. Starts tomorrow. Have a good day. Be blessed. Follow our Facebook page. Got content there. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Tuesday, July 29th. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Stay blessed. Be where your feet are at. And always roll damn tizai.